Hi everybody and welcome to the Wisefab YouTube channel. Today, Tarmo will walk you through the BMW kits. So Tarmo, there are like 4 kits on this table. So what's going on in here?
Okay, today we will talk a little about BMW E36 and 46 angle kits.
E30? E30?
Well, E30 as well, but to be honest, it's not the most popular kit anymore, but it still fits to E30 as well. So if there are some people around who would like to buy it for E30, it's still available. But anyways, Wisefab developed, as you know better than I do, Wisefab developed the first kit for BMW E30, I believe so. 30, 36 and 46, they're pretty similar, and it all happened like 15 years ago. So over the decades and a little bit more, we have developed one kit to another. We have made a lot of improvements, and nowadays we actually have 4 different kits available for drifting and for actually different kind of customers. So
This is...
we call it do-it-yourself kit, DIY.
Then
We have the narrow kit.
Then
We have version 1 kit.
and then
We have version 2 kit.
do-it-yourself kit. What is this, Tarmo?
That's a good question. Well, that's the most entry-level thing. It's actually meant for guys who are willing to work hard in their garages to weld together some control arms and other stuff. So this is actually the final control arm, how it's going to look when everything is done. So I will move it a little bit away from here. And this is the right side of the kit, what you will get from Wisefab. So basically you have that kind of piece of steel, what you can add to the original control arm. You will cut off the part of the original control arm and you will weld this thing here. Here is also a reinforcement that is necessary to make sure that the control arm doesn't bend too much. And to do so, we also are including the welding jig. So this is something that you will bolt to original arm to make sure that the position of weld on is as correct as it should be. It also comes with additional lock stopper, familiar from other Wisefab kits, a bearing housing, bearing, and of course a knuckle add-on. So this knuckle add-on is actually from Wisefab version 1, which is still available, about what we will talk a little bit later. But yeah, this is like a classic Wisefab part, and it comes together with this kit. And as this kit is actually universal for E36 and 46, it means that we're also adding that kind of hexagon sleeve that you will add here to the end of the control arm, because on E46 the rubber bushing is hexagon size instead of being cylindrical. So that's the thing. So these are the parts. But yeah, that kind of kit requires quite a bit of work. It doesn't include camber plates. It's meant to be used with any kind of coilover camber plates, or alternatively you can also use OEM style shock and spring combination. So it works like this as well. You can also, by using this welding jig, adjust the length of the arm. So you can make it pretty wide, which is like 50 millimeters wider than original, or you can make it shorter, slightly shorter. So you can make it fit to your car as you wish.
Main question always, how much steering angle can you get out of it?
Well, if you make the control arm long enough, basically the longest what we suggest, you can have close to 55 degrees.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And one more remark, it doesn't come with the tie rod. So in installation instructions, you will find the information what kind of tie rod has to be used. So yeah, you can buy it separately, but it's widely available, so it's easy to find it.
So Tarmo, what is this kit then?
This one here, this is so-called Wisefab narrow kit.
Why is it called the narrow kit?
Well, let's say the control arm is actually very similar to pro versions of Wisefab, but it's just slightly shorter. Shorter means that it doesn't stick out from the fenders as much as pro kit, and it has also 55 degrees of turning angle in maximum. But yeah, with this kind of control arms and this combination, the wheel will fit pretty well under the original fender.
Under the original fender on E36 and 46?
Yes, correct. That was the main idea behind this kit, because not everybody are willing to go out for pro, but at the same time, Wisefab, as you know, requires pretty big overfenders to get these 65 degrees what we're promising to our customers. So we have made it narrower. It has a little bit less steering angle, but it looks okay even on the streets.
So you said 55 degrees of steering angle. What about no camber plates again?
So this kit includes slightly shorter control arm. It includes knuckle add-on from version 1, a lollipop, what we're using on every kit of ours, and the tie rod. And it doesn't include camber plate, because once again, as it's shorter control arm, customers can use the, let's say, any kind of coilover camber plate, which has like a camber adjustment, or you can even use the original shock and spring combination for it. And with that kind of control arm, you have approximately 4 degrees of camber, which is pretty good for drifting, to be honest, especially with that kind of combo. And yeah, this kit, by the way, comes with a tie rod, which is like a full-length tie rod, what you can just attach to the steering rack and to the knuckle add-on, and you're ready to go.
Tarmo, so what is this kit called then?
This is actually the most classical kit what Wisefab has made. This is so-called version 1. To be honest, it has had quite a few revisions over the years, but the main thing is that
Yeah, I've seen the version 1, so it's
doesn't
nothing
look like this, right?
Nothing like the version 1.
Okay, so what makes it version 1 is that actually all these parts are fitting also to the older versions, meaning that if you have 10 years old Wisefab and you will smash your control arm, you can buy a new one. It looks different, but the length and kinematics of all those parts are remaining the same as they were. So even if you have painted, old-fashioned knuckle add-on, it can be replaced with this one. So till now, you can still get spare parts for every old Wisefab kit, and that's why we call it version 1.
And this kit makes a little bit different numbers when it comes to the steering angle.
Correct. This one is more or less classical 65 degrees of steering angle. It has, like, the control arm is longer than the narrow kit was. This is like a classic length, what we use on this kit and also on version 2. It has the same knuckle add-on as it is on do-it-yourself kit and also on narrow kit. But this one also comes with a lollipop, so-called lollipop, the rear mount of the lower control arm, which is adjustable in aluminum housing. A half-length tie rod. So the inner part will be BMW OEM one, and the outer part is made by us, and also with specific camber plates. So these kits are actually pretty similar between E36 and 46, just some small differences like camber plate and the lollipop, but other than that, they are basically the same. And this is, yeah, the previous Pro kit, or still the Pro kit, for 65 degrees of angle, adjustable camber plate, adjustable mount for the control arm, and classic version 1 knuckle add-on.
So let me jump into here now. What is this?
This place here, it's empty hole, as you can see.
Yeah.
But this is, of course, it's actually meant for sway bar mount. So yeah, you don't have to weld anything on the control arm. You can just fit basically the OEM style sway bar to this control arm, and it's very useful nowadays.
And this is not all, folks, because there is another one. And this is called now what?
Version 2 angle kit.
Okay, I must say one thing. This looks like really next level because it looks awesome, dude.
Well, it is actually awesome, but we make some fun about it because this is actually not anymore camber plate. It's a caster plate. So as you can see, camber is not adjustable, so you can't move the top point of the shock more inside or outside. Instead, you can clock it, and by clocking it, you're actually changing the angle of the shock, meaning that you're actually adjusting caster, which is pretty useful because on BMWs, especially on E32s, even if you can adjust the lollipop so that you can move your wheel more forward or back, you adjust caster, then at one point you're getting too close to the bumper. And to avoid that, it's better to adjust the caster from the top mount. So we came up with that kind of camber plate or caster plate, or however we call it, for version 2. That's one thing. The control arm is the same as it is on version 1. Nothing has changed over there. The lollipop is the same as it is in version 1. The tie rod is more or less the same as it is on version 1, but the biggest difference is this piece here. So this is the version 2 knuckle add-on. The main thing about it, what has been changed is the Ackerman adjustment. That's a big thing, because all the previous versions that I just introduced you, those have basically a parallel steering or close to parallel steering. This one has adjustment for Ackerman, meaning that you can go from parallel steering, which is basically a 0 Ackerman, till pretty positive Ackerman. So from positive to 0 or from 0 to positive. That's what you can adjust now. It comes with different Ackerman washers. It's pretty easy to adjust, and it makes life quite a bit easier, because nowadays the cars have to be really snappy, and Ackerman is actually something that kind of helps you to achieve that. And yeah, that's a very good solution.
10 years, give or take, Wisefab came out with the S chassis kits, and those were the first kits in the world that had Ackerman adjustments. Well, remember the washers?
Of course,
yeah.
of course.
So after that, BMW guys were like, hey, finally, Wisefab has come true and made BMW guys' dreams come true.
Yeah, that's correct. The thing is that it wasn't actually very easy to make it work in a proper way. I mean, there are many ways how to do it, but we wanted to do it in our way, in a very precise way, and so that it's reliable. That's one thing. Also, drifting has developed quite a bit over the years. So the car setups have changed, the tires have changed. It's more about speed and it's about angle, all these things together. So yeah, we made that kind of change. So Ackerman is one of the main changes, but actually there is a little bit more about it. The thing what we have changed on this version 2 add-on is the amount of trail that is built into this knuckle add-on, meaning that the car also has a little bit more checking if you're getting to the full lock, meaning that the front end is lifted and the rear end goes down, and you have a little bit more grip in the rear at that point. There are quite a few ways how to achieve that kind of checking. One way is just to add caster a lot to the regular knuckle add-on, but then you don't have a very good contact path between the tire and the tarmac. So we have added built-in trail into the knuckle add-on, and that makes also quite a bit of difference, and it makes the car a little bit more snappier, meaning that the self-steering is better, faster, and in overall that's the top-notch pro kit what we can offer right now.
Awesome. what can I say? Awesome.
Thank you.
So BMW kit, actually you can say right now that the BMW kit has developed with the drifting itself.
Yeah, that's true. As I said previously, this was basically the first kit we started, BMW, as you remember better than I do. And yeah, over the last close to 15 years, it has seen quite a bit of development. And this is the latest version what we have. And in formal drift, in Drift Masters, also in many other different series, pro drivers are mainly using this kit nowadays when it comes to Wisefab Pros.
Okay, cool. So there you go. Those are the Wisefab kits for E36, 46, and I would like to add E30s, although they're really expensive nowadays.
Yeah, and not too often used for drifting anymore.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more tutorials, Wisefab expertise on different parts, and come back for the next video.
And let us know if you want to see something specific or you're interested in some sort of special videos. We are here to help you out with this.
Absolutely. Well, not me, but Tarmo is.
Nah.